Hello, thank you all. Oh, whoop. Sorry. I just made a kickstand. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's my joke for the day. All right. All right. So, this is just right where I had left off. All right. So this is part two of this is today's report here, and since I've already gone through all the preliminaries, I will jump into bang, bang, bang. All right, so this is the Schumann, the quote-unquote the Schumann, 100% zoom, whoop, zoom in. All right, so these are all the number values here, right, on this side. As we go down here. All right, so see, these are interesting capped off like that. Now you can see how they're sampled. Ding, 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 ding. It's obviously falling, right? So you got to, hello. You got to remember that, and see down here in the bottom too as well. What's our, what is on the other side of that? Oh, hello, 5 to quality. I have no idea what's going on. Hold on, zoom out. All right, so 5. So those big ass waves are, look at jagged on the bottom there. They're not, 5 is where our threshold of where we start. So that one's hitting 5. That one dipped, or, minimum threshold. All right? Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, we'll certainly look at the top, 31. You see if it's flat on 31, it's a bigger wave. And it's important to know that's capped off, but look at the peak. You're tickling it. And this thing is elastic. You have to look at on the other side. These numbers get elastic, but you see the variants are always the same size. I don't want to get too much into that, but these are what the modes are about. Different size strings on an instrument, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to explain in not knowing what the common lexicon is between me and the other person. I don't know what you know. In other words, all right, so I'm just trying to correct this into view. All right. So I flip everything, and I want to make an important note here. I flip everything, all these things upside down. Not all of this here, but when I always do it, because it's important to see what is kind of going on. And the coloration in there, you really have to look at it. This right here is what I call indiglow, right? See how it's this nice glowing, all of that? That's our atmosphere. That's why these here spikes come in to just keep ringing the bell. And you see it happens after it. You look at this harmonic here, it's not all, it drives me crazy, Marc, when you say, oh, not much is happening. You all, fellas, people, none of you all know what it is you're looking at, or you would be like, wow, zoom in, Now you gotta, this line here, I'm gonna go into this here in a minute. See, this is at 25, right? There's 24, 28. Now, there may be a part 3 involving the antennas. We'll have to see how far I'm getting. Am I still recording? All right, 348. Oh my God, that was right at that time. That was the first time I had looked at the subscriber count. It was 348. Wow, holy crap. All right, so you see in here, it's sampled, but I will bet you, and I'm going to go into this to show you where the observatory is, this line is not present in all, this is local interference. The periodicity of it is it's a train schedule. I'll tell you that. And I will show you where when I get to that in due time. So these, to me, are some of the more exciting of that, because what you're looking at, the red, the rusts, the yellow, see the, zoom in. You see all of the little specklies in there. It's like, that right there is a hardcore like red, solid red. That's a mud adobe color. You can see all these different speckles in there, and he's white, the white stripes, right? High current, high charge. The electric is the charge. The magnetics is the current. Just FYI. Now, these right here, you see the first harmonics, and then you see this you see that's all jaggedy? You look at these, okay? That's 4, that's 2, that's 1, that's there, that's there, that's there, it's there, it's there, plucking little notes. You see that? It's a little symphony. And all these colors in there, the yellow. Let's see if you can see yellow. Colorblind people need not apply here. You're not going to be able to see it if you can't see the difference in the colorations and the striations. And I'm just kind of doing this. Whoop. So one gets you see down here, you can't see this down here. All right, so you see down here, the pretty kind of, this is the at-rest state here of, it's like a stretchy balloon or a rubber band or something, It comes back to zero. So that when I talk about the wefting and the weaving, this is it. This is magnetics, right? These are resonances, harmonic resonances, but you can pick up local interference on these things. All right. So this right here, the website will be provided in the link. Okay, so this is the, let me pull out, Tomsk. All right, so that's 7 minutes. All right. All right, so this is the Space Observing System Comprehensive Monitoring Data in Tomsk. And I have it, the website here is Translate Google User Content. Google Translate, you can figure it out. All right, so this is a frequency. This is at the same place that Mr. MBB 333, love him, shout out to Mr. MBB 333. He gets the spectrograph on his Jammy Jam. All right, whoop, not that. Okay, so that's not the spectrum. That's the spectrogram. All right, so that's what he pulls from, and this website here, right? Ding, ding, ding. That's where I got his. That's where I had gone, because Disclosure News, who I have their thing up here, they go and pull the 4 reports from the same place. So this right here, as a gift to you, the website is down there. So there is where they're getting theirs. That's where I'm pulling my 4 reports from. The original is in Russian right there. I know this is Amplitude because I recognize the A, but I keep it in the Russian. There you go, A, okay. Yeah. And then I do a screen very simply, take a screenshot, bing, bing, cancel. Right. All right, so there you go, okay. So this right here, it's important to know, this is the background radiation. They check the background radiation. So you can see that's how far out their antennas go, in theory, that they're able to capture. So it's pretty much more than 50 miles. Although the exact distance that how they, are able to pick is dependent upon, again, the windings of the antenna. So I'm kind of presuming here, I guess, that their antennas are able to pick, that's like Egypt. I mean, this is the other side of the world. That's like all of, that's a big-ass place right there. So, but the Siberia is right in the middle of that. All right, so where are we at? All right, so giving it an action figure. All right, so where we're at. All right, so this is, I'll scroll up. There we go. All right, so this is from Sedona Anomalies. Okay, and I have the Facebook page on my Facebook group, I have made an article about these. All right. So, but I just want to say I like these guys are awesome. So I'm putting a plug out for them. Sedona anomalies. That's the Schumann resonance. Earth's background base frequency or heartbeat. Schumann resonances fluctuates but is not rising dramatically, despite a New Age meme that alleges it. The authors have been unable to substantiate a rising SR, Schumann resonance, in the literature, and Ben Lonetree's readings directly contradict it. SR is stable, it is not rising. Those who say it is are ignorant, dis or misinformed, and parroting the mistakes or lies of others. Though it varies between geographical regions, for decades the overall measurement has remained 7.8 cycles per second. All right. Yeah, I'm shaking it just to give it a little interest. All right, so there's a video. Again, I'll make to link. It says, since life began, the Earth has been surrounding and protecting all living things with a natural frequency, pulsation of 7.83 hertz. The ancient Indian rishis called Om. Schumann resonance refers to the frequency of the electromagnetic field of the Earth. Whether by coincidence or not, it also happens to be a very powerful frequency to use with brainwave entrainment. The discovery from 1954 it was known a little before that, has spurred much research. We incorporated subtle isochronic tones in the music. All right. So now, here's a little picture of this. Okay. Leave it on there for a minute. Do a print screen. All right. And then this is a YouTube video. I'll have a link to it, scientific paper. All right, and so I've read this. It's very nice. Schumann resonance, physical regulation, and psi. And on my YouTube channel, I'm planning on, and the Facebook, I'm planning on putting more of the self-regulation stuff regarding the effects of the Schumann on us and our brainwaves. And there we go. Okay, Schumann resonance not rising. All right. So you see here, this is megahertz, it says, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for hertz, not megahertz. Okay. So now, this is what they're showing you here. Back in. All right. So it's important to note here. This is what they're saying, and again, you go to the website here, and you'll get all the verification and etc. But it says, I think the article may be referring back to this date. Back in 2002, HAARP did a transmission to see if they could modulate the first Schumann resonance. They were, okay, all right, hold on. Okay. They were not secretive about it, and they announced a test. So I recorded their transmission at the top chart. All right, so that's the top chart right there. Okay. They were not secretive about it. They succeeded in driving the resonance, Schumann resonance nuts, but they did not succeed with injecting information onto Schumann. Okay, I used to correspond with the head project scientist at HAARP in the old days. I also corresponded with the gentleman who created HAARP. They're both gone now, rest in peace. I know how HAARP works and what it does. There are roughly 9 to 6, 2, I guess 2, that should be 2. 9, actually it's more, there's 16 stations around the globe with only 2 American. Nope, the update is 4. There's 4 in America, 2 are in Alaska, 1 is in Colorado, and the other is in New Hampshire. Works on what it does. Other countries. All right. Notice how bright the first Schumann is at 7.83. Oh, okay. So you can't really see. There's 10. All right. So that's the resonances there. That's 30. That's not even the base of, right? That's not even, that's the green mode goes up here, right? So the green is responsible for most of this, mode 1. So they're hitting this, but you see these crazy spikes here? Like, all right. You know, like, all right, there's one. Where's that coming from? Is that even coming from HAARP? I mean, I don't know. Okay, yeah, it went nuts. All right, yeah, it did. Like, all right, yeah. Oh, you see, look, it looks like a field array. Huh. It looks like their freaking field array. Wow. Oh, this blowing my mind. All right. It was getting hammered. The top chart shows the frequencies that they transmit on one. Like, look at that. This is megahertz, right? This is just hertz. Should be theoretically. That's megahertz. I can't even zoom in. All right, whatever. All right. So, the frequencies. The top shows the two frequencies at the same time. If you look at the bottom chart, look at near 2 hertz. Right there. Near 2. Yeah. You will see faint dashed lines. That was the HAARP signal. HAARP transmits at 2 frequencies. When you have 2 frequencies, you have the original 2 together, you can create a differential of, let's say, 1 to 2 hertz. That frequency was used for HAARP's... Oh, man. Geez, I am so sorry. I just whacked you in the head. All right. So, just creating a little action and adventure here. All right. That frequency was used for HAARP's tomography experiments, and similar set of frequencies was used for Schumann. HAARP, to be honest, is obsolete. Old technology. Oh, wow, geez. Snob. The purist. Obsolete. Well, okay. So, all right. So this guy has Lonetree here. Lonetree in 2014 was telling you it's not rising. Word to the wise, receiving the magnetic component of Schumann resonance is extremely difficult. Receiving the electrical component of Schumann's is much simpler. But to get a good take on what Schumann is doing, you need both. So, these are schematics. Look at that. 60, see that? Here's our 60 hertz notch. That's whatever that does. Notch. Filter. High impedance induction coil. All right, so resistor, capacitor, the resistor, I guess, of some type. Grounds, I think, or just that wiry guy. Unknown, that just means unknown bit of wire there. That's what those are. That's a switch. Resistor, the thing, it's a resistor, could be a control of some type. And the ground, these are all ground. All right. So this is my first Schumann receiver design. If you are crazy enough to want to observe the magnetic component of Schumann, here you go. Courtesy of old Lonetree, this is my first design. It was stolen from my original website, a guy in Greece. He used my schematics and design for his thesis in Greece. All right. The magnetic sensor is worse to build. Took me 3 months. I am at a stage in my life where I feel today's kids are not being taught knowledge like this. Of course, I was never trying to do that either, so here you go. All right, so notch filter, pole filter. I'm not even going to go through this. All right. So these are just wallpaper, component lists. I'm not even going to go through that. Okay, so induction coil. Oh, an AH is an amp Henry. Say plus or minus 12 volts. All right. So the induction coil. I must admit the winding of the coil on the form was very tedious and time-consuming. 7.83 miles of number 2 magnet coil was consumed, 19.6 pounds. Approximately 20. I'm sorry. What am I looking at? The wrong one. 78,000 turns. Just approximately 78,000 turns were wound on the form. The final resistance of the coil was measured to be approximately this is the impedance of the coil itself. 2.9 kilo ohms. K is kilo ohms. The wound coil was through the inside. The wound coil. The wound coil was wrapped with 3M 10 mil tape and coated with polyurethane. The laminated iron core was then inserted through the inside of the coil form with approximately 8 inches protruding from the ends. The entire assembly was inserted into the 3-pinch. I'm not even going to go through. So, but he's showing you here. All right, this guy here. This fresh young fella here, looking handsome. Look at that styling. I'd be styling like that. Now, this is a little misleading. That's where you should ideally have a Schumann antenna out there in the middle of nowhere. All right, let me just say that. Now, he's in Sedona. He has that luxury. That's the induction coil setup. That's in PVC. Okay, you can read how he did it. There, this is PVC. All right, 100. All 100. Oh, yeah. Okay, the tourist. Funny look from the tourist. All right, so that's another view of the antenna, not the magnetic antenna. It's an induction coil like car jacks. You know, core length. There's blase, blase B. There's more of it. There's the wire. There's the wire. Look at that. That's the wire. Right? That's your wire that you're using, spool of wire. He wound it. Look at that. The hammer. There you go. That's the surgical hammer. A surgical tool. Okay. So he's testing it, the spectrum. Here is the basic equipment for receiving the electrical component of the Schumann resonances. See these little spikies here? Oh, fun. I like looking at them just for the colors. Like, look at this. That's just a really cool pattern. Like, you haven't seen this before. There you go. You're not ever going to see this anywhere else. Look, it's an action figure. Look at that. Is that not the coolest thing in the world? I'm just let you sit there with a minute. Oh, I'm at like 21 minutes with this video. All right, okay. So I'm going to pan out. This is a really cool tool to have, I think, if you have it, right? All right, back to normal. All right, so these are the components that the guy soldered. You can tell he soldered it, not a machine. I can tell anyway. I know what I'm looking at. You know, Radio Shack. Oh, fuck, Radio Shack, Shit Shack. I remember them. Yeah, and so those are, you saw a little diagram. There you go. That's all soldered together. You know, there you go. A little breadboard. Yeah, all right. So these are the guts of the Schumann balanced cable pair, receiver, driver. Okay. Coupled audio driver receiver circuit. That's your antenna. Look at that. The whip. Look at that. Look at that crazy ass insulator, so you don't get fried by lightning. All right. So there you go. So now we have a different Schumann resonance. One that you have not seen before. I can personally assure you of that. Maybe I'll scoot out a little. All right, so we're only really interested to this line here. You see this jammy jam? There's 60 hertz. Theoretically, he's got a notch, so that doesn't show up. But what it is you see it's all a white line. It is a notch, right? So you don't overwhelm your. It's a. Ay caramba. The Tomsk Observatory may have a 25 hertz. If I saw their schematics, you could know. You saw up there. They may have a 25 hertz notch filter on their jammy jam as well. That is something to consider. See how you're getting this peg here of the 60. So, all right. So these are your date lines. Time. These are, I don't know. I'm guessing it's local time. I don't know if it's UTC or local time, but whatever. These are your times down here, and that's your hertz. Hertzes, because hertz is always plural. There can never be one hertz. It's like a abusive X. There's never one hertz. Another joke. Okay. All right. Syntax error. I don't know what that's about. All right. So you see these kind of echoes. It's 60. Like, I don't know what those are, but you see little kind of tomahawks in there. So you see these resonances lining up. 1, 2, 3 continuously. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're at 40, right? The other Tomsk in Russia, at Tomsk University, only goes up to 40, right? You see how active it is. Then you have 50, right? And again, this is Sedona, right? Okay. 50, and then you have 55. I mean, nothing's really happening up there except this is commercial consumers. And then you have this Indiglo of the other. And then you have, look at that, at 80. Look at this, at 80 hertz, there's still activity up here, and then 90. The antennas, of course, are picking up electric spikes. This is amplitude. This is not frequency, right? The frequency is this, right? This is electric, highly electric. Look, and I want to get a time. Look, but look at these down here. Look at all of these crazy ass spikes here. I mean, it's only picking up these guys. Remember that one spiky antenna is picking up these guys here that you whip. All right. All right. So this is where we're at now. You're in. This is your obviously the amplifier. This is your preamp. This is what it. The output is what goes to the plotter that they pull the data from for the spectrograph. Okay. Input comes from the antenna, okay? So you see low pass, they have all these filters in here, multiply by, look at that, these are your scales, right? I'm gonna scoot in on this so you can see that. These are your jammy jam scales, right here. This is the money shot, right? So you see, you multiply by, you have 110, this is your scale, 110, 1, point, and point, and point, 0.001, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, actually start this way, that's mode 1. This system, you saw how high up he's in frequency going. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's got 6 modes, whereas Tomsk only has 4 modes. See the difference? Then you have frequency and the hertz, blase, blase, b, all right. So just an important thing. Okay, Schumann resonance animation, geospace is the term. All right, so I want to show something that's really important here. All right, so there we go. All right, so the Russian site is, let me show you. Full screen, yeah, all right. So where we're at here is Tomsk 1 is a train station, okay? Now, all of this is in Russian, I don't know, but an institute, I recognize that. Economic something, oh, all right. Tomsk State Pedagogical University, Faculty of Journalism, Tomsk State, and we have here. Oh, and then this one here, it's a college. Like, all right, this is Siberia. Tomsk in Siberia. I think it's Siberia, the tundra. This is where Tomsk State University of Control Systems is based. Okay? And you can look it up right here, the blah, 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 blah. Okay, go to the maps. I'll probably give you the coordinates, but I know I put something on Facebook. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So you see, as the crow flies, this right here, and if you zoom in, wrong one. Let me zoom in. Oh, okay. Zoom in, wrong one. All right, here we go. So you have here the line. Here, this is a line. Commuter. There's the rail. There's the what the hell you call that? There we go. Right there. Perfect. So you have between here, our red line here, our red dot here, and Tomsk, that's 1.6 miles. So the old standard, was the 25 kilohertz. 25 kilovolt. 3. What am I thinking about? 3 kilovolt, 25 hertz. Numbers are all running together in my head. I'm even going to zoom out, make sure that we got this. Zooming in, yeah. Talking about something, and no one even has no clue of what I'm saying. I review my videos, I'm like, oh, good God, pull out, or pull in. All right, so you have the You have the two located not that far apart. But the point is, oh, and then there's the other one here. I'll show you. I have this on my screen, my wallpaper. Like, down here, the Siberian State Medical University. Maybe they have like an MRI? Is that possible? Like, are they picking up, like, how close they are to that? Pub. I mean, is this, I mean, I don't know entirely. I'm still researching this, but is this where the antennae is? If so, which one of these buildings? You know? So the question is not how Tomsk is getting the 25. It's like, how come they're not picking up more stuff? Like, I don't know. Okay, all right. Whatever. But that's just a general overall overview of some important fill-in things. And I'm at